It's not a plan.
But it's sort of alluded to maybe making not the answers visible, but just which questions.
That's what I did. Just guess, I think exactly the same wrong twice.
Yeah. I just don't
Yeah, I got 4. So like, fuck.
Yeah.
If you get it right.
If you need to just get past the test, then you they're not. You'll pass.
Make a spreadsheet.
I didn't stop. The recordings are horrible. Everything needs to be
I know. You can revoke.
Digital video disc.
Yeah. Yeah, that's like this stuff, but it's like we're not. It's what roll.
Okay. What I forgot to say was that it's random walk is movement without any direction. In the lecture, I call it drift. It's like the bottle turning the sea. The bottle is on drift. It can go in any direction. We saw that if you have this kind of movement, drift, movement that can go in any direction, entropy increases. So the second law of thermodynamics says that this is necessarily what will happen. We will afterwards put some qualifications on that. But why is that law so important? What the law says is you start with something that is localized somewhere and then it just diffuses. Diffusion, dissipation, falling apart, erosion, these are all the kind of verbs that can be used. Another classic example is you have a glass of water, you put a drop of blue ink in it. What happens? The ink initially is very dark in a particular spot, and then that blue color starts to diffuse, and in the end, the whole glass is light blue. Now, why is that so important? Because you never see the opposite. You will never see a glass of light blue liquid where all the blueness suddenly concentrates and gets into one drop. So that is the interpretation of the second law of thermodynamics as showing irreversibility. You have certain processes that can only move in one direction. They move from low entropy to high entropy. They will not spontaneously go back to their original state. Let's take the example of the box with the two compartments. In theory, all the molecules that are on the right-hand side could move back to the left. But the probability that this would happen is so absolutely astronomically small that it simply will never happen in the history of the universe. Because you have billions and trillions of molecules that all at the same moment need to fly in the same direction, exactly pointing towards the hole in between the two compartments so that they all at the same time go into the left compartment. It will never happen. Just like the blue ink that has diffused in the glass of water will never again concentrate in one droplet. Another typical example is you put an ice cube in a glass of water. What happens? The ice cube melts, the cold water will diffuse, and the whole glass will cool down a little bit. So you start with a glass of which the water is warm and one spot the ice cube is very cold. You end up with a glass that's uniformly somewhat cold. the opposite will again never happen. You will never see all the cold molecules gathering together into an ice cube in the middle of your glass while the rest of the glass warms up. That doesn't happen. So that is why the second law of thermodynamics is so important, because it describes why certain processes in nature never happen. They always happen in one direction. So the interpretation is that this diffusion is a loss of structure. We saw that constraint is a form of structure. It's not always valid because there are special circumstances in which your information can increase. But let me first illustrate more this notion of loss of structure or increase of entropy with an example I think is very concrete that